This is Charles Benninghoff, founder of Pray for Us, Pray for the United States, and the Tea Party Army. Today we're going to discuss the grant of war powers to our radical-in-chief, which I found absolutely astounding. If you think that Barack Obama has overstepped his executive branch authority in the past, wait until you see what the Republican-controlled Senate wants to do for him now. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is fast-tracking a bill in the Senate that would grant Obama unprecedented authority to control the military, much like a dictator would do so. We call it a martial law bill because this piece of legislation is written in such a way that it would allow Obama to unleash the military against the American people right here at home. It's called Senate Resolution 26, and you can find a link to it on our campaign page or below if you're watching on YouTube. And this bill was written by Senator Lindsey Graham. Here is what former Congressman Ron Paul of Texas has to say about this so-called War Powers Resolution. Senate Joint Resolution 26, quote, could be used to justify using military force against the United States and its citizens right here on U.S. territory. It may even be used by Obama to justify imposing martial law in the United States. Ron Paul is absolutely correct. Let me read to you the first paragraph of this so-called war authorization. It authorizes Obama to use all necessary and appropriate force. That includes every branch of the military, in order to defend the United States' national security against the continuing threat posed by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. And here is the key part of the resolution. It authorizes Obama to use all necessary and appropriate force against ISIL and its associated forces, organizations, and persons, and any successor organizations. That is all the resolution states, and it clearly is deliberately vague. It authorizes Obama to use military force on U.S. soil if we have another incident like the ISIL attack we saw in 2015 in San Bernardino, and in Chattanooga, in Garland, Texas, and at a community college in Oregon. The War Powers Act of '73, that's 1973, was written to rein in presidential power to commit our military to another lengthy war that Congress did not approve of, such as the Vietnam War, in which I served 2 tours. Obama violated the War Powers Act in 2011 when he committed American troops to Libya for more than 60 days without any authorization from Congress. And do you remember Fast and Furious? The action plan by Obama to swamp Mexico's drug cartels with high-powered rifles and pistols is called Fast and Furious. He had thousands of weapons illegally sold to Mexican cartels for the purpose of creating a genocide, all in the hopes that the American public would rise up against our Second Amendment out of the repulsive killing. We would not have found out about this program unless a patriotic government worker told the world. Well, the rifles sent to Mexico under this quote-unquote program of Obama's ended up being used to kill thousands of Mexicans and several people here on this side of the border as well. In fact, the recently completed raid on the fortress holding Chapo Guzman was investigated during that capture, and there was found by the Mexican police one of Obama's Fast and Furious rifles. And our elected officials want to give this monster, this master of murder, this man who tried to create a war by giving drug cartels high-powered rifles, they want to give this man war powers to repeat his fast and furious, deceitful actions worldwide as well as in our own country. This resolution 26 completely rewrites the War Powers Act and gives Obama the authority to wage war anywhere he sees fit, including in your city, for as long as he wants, for virtually any reason, as long as Obama says that it is for national security. The resolution signs away congressional authority to declare war and to end a war if the people do not want it. And it in turn gives Obama powers they are unequal in the history of the United States, but on the other hand are equal to any military dictator we've seen in history, like a Hitler or a Stalin. This is unbelievable grant of authority. This martial law bill grants Obama the powers of a king. And the Bible is very clear in its warning in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verses 11 through 22. The will of the people will be subverted by a king, and our sons and daughters will no longer be our own, but will in fact be forced to carry out Obama's every wish. Verse 22 states, "And you will cry out in that day because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves. And the Lord will not hear you in that day." If we act and give Obama this power, the Lord will not hear from us in our day of need. That is why I urge you to take action. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham says he cannot imagine why you or I would not want Obama to have this power. The reason is simple. This is America, and we do not want a king, even in the light of a Japanese invasion of Alaska and in the Honolulu bombings and other horrible acts. Our congressional system worked, and worked very well. This is why we oppose this resolution, and we will oppose Lindsey Graham's future re-election efforts. We hope that you will oppose him too. We have to convince the rank and file members of Congress that this resolution grants far, far too much power to Obama, and that we want them to vote no on Senate Joint Resolution 26. To do so, you can use the form on the right-hand side if you are on our campaign page, or use the link below if you're watching this video on YouTube. This is Charles Benninghoff signing off, hoping that you will join our fight against giving Obama a grant of war power.
Satan can't make me doubt it. It's real and I'm gonna shout it. I was there when it happened, and I guess I ought to know.